Hello.
Is this thing on?
Yeah.
All right, 10. You guys gotta count. Gotta count with me, chat. Ardaru, someone else? 9?
Okay.
Any niners in
9,
chat?
9, 8,
7,
7, 6, 5,
4,
4, 3,
3,
2,
2,
2,
1, go!
All right, good luck, everyone.
Also, you might notice the cutscenes are going quite fast. That's because of a live split plugin that's just being used to speed them up. This game has like a ridiculous amount of cutscenes, and oh, that's unfortunate. He jumped on top of a god's head. I mean, that's fine because then you can just restart the game, right? So
I never
that doesn't actually count. That doesn't actually count. It's still hitless. It's still hitless.
But I never see that. I never see that it is hit. Never.
Okay, no,
Okay.
he got a save on top of the god's head. I think he has to restart the game, actually. Well, now it's definitely hitless because he actually started over. We don't have to count that one. It's still hitless. It's still hitless. Also, hitless runs are done from normal as well. You can pick any harder difficulty you want, but
Yeah,
normal is sort of the
never,
baseline.
yes, difficult never change a lot. It's only guards only can see you faster, and enemies can do more damage, if I remember.
Yeah, like enemy damage obviously doesn't matter for hitless runs. Yeah. How much mana you get, it affects us as well, and also
Yeah, the mana. I forgot.
and also like how fast you get detected. Those are like the main things. Speedruns go with easy, and you can tell here he's going pretty slowly just to not jump on that god's head. He's talking to Emily. Emily is his daughter, and he's going to come up to... Yeah, you play as Corvo in Dishonored, who is the royal protector, the bodyguard of the Empress, who had an affair, and then this is the Empress. They're currently in the middle of a plague, and Corvo has returned with the news about how to defeat the plague, and it turns out those news is there's nothing we can do. And yeah, bad news turned to worse news when Assassin shows up to assassinate the Empress. So right now, because he's played the game before, he's sort of preparing for how to deal with the Assassins before they even show up. There's a pretty neat strat for that.
Yeah, because sometimes you can run around. You should wait like 30 seconds. If you they disappear. The assassins.
Yeah, in my run, I just decided to like hide underneath a table for the Assassins to despawn. You can do that too. They just can't figure out how to get to you. Right now, they're gonna spawn right there, and then... Okay, so he was trying to get a double headshot on them. That didn't quite work out. So he had to then improvise and kill the other assassin before the assassin hit back. The assassins are really fast with their attacks, so that could have gone very wrong. But I think what happened actually was the gunshot sort of strafed the assassin and knocked him off balance, because otherwise that would have been a hit. And yeah, basically he's been accused of the murder of the Empress, and now he has to, yeah, break out of prison and undishonor himself. He's been dishonored and has to undishonor himself by proving he didn't kill the Empress by killing a bunch of other people. That's basically the story of the game. Yeah, like people talked about how the lore is more interesting in this game than the actual story. That's definitely something I agree with. There's a lot of lore. There, he actually walked pretty carefully just to get detection markers on that first guard, and what that actually does is it causes the other two guards to not have a conversation, and then he can just run past them like that. So that's entirely intentional, and like a good example of like the attention to routing. Now he's going to pick up a bomb that he's going to be using to blow up the like exit to the prison so he can get out. And obviously he also has to avoid the bomb explosion when he gets to that point. Here's another way as well to avoid guards in the game. Like previously to this, he's just been killing them from stealth. The game has like pretty involved stealth mechanics. You can also just avoid guards completely, which is often a lot safer. But it does mean that you have to be aware from like where they can actually spot you from. I'm actually not sure how I did that. Like when I did that, what I did was I choked out the guard that was like the previous area. But here he just like sort of went around them, which is I've managed to do, but not consistently. But if you choke them out mid conversation, it actually ends the conversation, so you can just sort of move on directly from that. And right here, he's hiding behind a wall, so the bomb just goes off, and he doesn't get hit by it, and it's fine. And then he jumps into the water and swims. He has to be somewhat careful that the guards up on that dam doesn't notice him, because they will shoot at him.
Yeah, and
as well.
sometimes
Yeah.
these guards they see you when you jump and try to shoot you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, be
like,
somewhat careful with that. That didn't happen, so it's just still be ghost. And right now, yeah, he's managed to get to the sewers. This first area, there isn't really anything that can go wrong. He's doing some movement there that looks... basically, he's trying to avoid climb-ups, which are fairly slow. It's like a sort of an optimization you do a lot in speedrunning. And generally, if you go fast in hitless runs, it's just more convenient. It means that you have less time to mess something up. It's just generally a good idea. Yeah, he picks up a bottle and just tosses it at a corpse as well. That's also a sort of neat way to just get rid of that corpse. Otherwise, you have to pick it up and you can't just turn it around like the wheel after that immediately. And then in a follow-up room here, there are a bunch of rats, which he will then... wait, yeah, he's standing on top of like a pile of rocks to avoid the rats eating him.
yeah, sometimes these rats are bugged or something. Because when
Basically, yeah.
no, because when sometimes I was running, this rat was 2 meters and they hit me. It's like, okay.
Yeah, so the rocks are sort of like in the shape of a pyramid, so they are higher like in the middle, but the rats are always like on the ground beneath the rocks. So if you're like standing on the edge of the rocks, they can reach you. And once they've reached you, like the hitbox sort of expands. It's weird. But as long as you're standing like in the middle, you're able to both turn the wheel and also get around them. Chucks a bottle at a guard to just knock him into the water. And that should be this entire level. So this level here is one of the harder ones because you don't have any magical powers. Spoiler alert, he's going to get magical powers, and that's going to change how the game plays quite a bit. Also, Samuel is the guy he's talking to. He's sort of the major reason why the speed up mod was developed. Because I can explain, like, from the 80% speed run, which is like about 30 minutes, a bit more than that, more than 50% of it is just cutscenes with Samuel. And you also saw there on the end of mission screen, there are sort of some check marks. One of them is for whether or not you killed anyone, and which obviously he did several times. And the other one is for whether you got detected. So he did not get detected during that level. This is an exhibition where he's meeting the what they're called, the sort of the loyalists, which is sort of a conspiracy against the Lord Regent that was the one who sent assassins after the Empress. Yeah, they just like speed up the cutscenes like 10 times. And that also is it also speeds up the timer. The timer's not visible right now, but if you were doing a speed run, you would have both visible. And it speeds up both by the same amount.
Yeah, because see, if you don't speed the cutscenes, if you go in slow, this will be the run will be 1 hour and 30 minutes. But if you do it with speed the cutscene will be 1 hour. It's our helping.
And now he just met the outsider, who's given him a tattoo on the on his hand. Would have actually been fun if we could replace that with an American Heart Association tattoo, but we didn't have time for that. It is actually possible to mod the textures of this game. Like I remember, I created one with the QR code on it. You can do that. Okay, so yeah, he just earlier he tried to like blink into like he tried to blink to an area where there was like just outside of a cutscene trigger, so he could pick up a potion. If you look at the top left corner of the screen, there's both a health bar, which should hopefully stay full for the entire run, and a mana bar, which he uses to do blinks. And he can pick up potions to fill his mana up again.
Sorry, we got 2 donations, chat. Let's go. Kicking off Sunday strong. We got a $20 donation from Melon. Thank you so much. We also got a $10 donation from Triskept. Said Dishonored is underrated. So glad to see it for the event. Good luck to NeKro. Thank you guys so much.
I believe both of those are actually Hitless runners as well. And I believe both of them have done trilogy runs of the games, like doing both Dishonored 1, 2, and Death of the Outsider. Like all in one take. Right now he's talking to Pierre, and I believe he also picked up like a bunch of coins from the DLC. So the game has like 4 pre-order DLCs depending on where you like pre-ordered the game from, and afterwards they just like sold all of them as one package, and they completely break the game. So he has a bone charm which makes his blinks go slightly farther, which is really useful, and also just like 2,000 coins where he can just buy whatever he needs. He bought a bunch of mana potions and a rune as well. Runes are what are used to upgrade powers. You can get, like, for example, double jump or longer blinks. Although people are talking about whether skipping Callista is a glitch. It is not.
No, it's a secondary quest. You don't need to do that.
Yeah. But actually, like, it was something I wasn't quite sure. Like, back before Dishonored 2 was released, there was sort of a competition for speedrunning, which Bethesda held. And they had a rule about no glitches, but they didn't clarify what was and wasn't a glitch. And when people asked, they just didn't answer. And that was one of the things people asked about. But it's the speedrunning community did like a while ago, like made a pretty definitive rule set of what is and isn't a glitch, and it's actually a really good rule set. One thing it does allow is you can see that he's sort of putting his sword away, and then also keeping out blink. That is like we're not sure whether or not that should be counted as a glitch or not. We decided to not count it as a glitch because it's just very convenient to do. It does let you run faster. Right there, he opened a gate from the other side for some reason. There's a reason for that, and that's when it gets up to the target. Normally, there's like a several minute, hour-long cutscene where you just have to wait for the target to talk with Callista's uncle. And if you talk to Callista, Callista would have asked him to save her uncle. But yeah, because he opened that gate, for some reason, they're just going to run out immediately. He places a spring racer, which just kills the target instantly. And yeah, then the other ones just run out to safety. And again, that's another one of those things where like it's hard to define whether or not it's a glitch because it makes no sense. But also, the game is literally coded to do that. So like, that's just how it works.
Maybe it's a high mechanic because Bethesda likes a lot of bugs.
My thinking is like either they accidentally copy pasted a script onto that thing, which alerts the target and makes him run away, or a developer was like, no, we need a way. We need a way to do this. Also, he landed like on Samuel's soft head.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It used to be a speedrun strat. Nowadays, we just like use some rocks which have a weird shape. You can also land on them, and even though you're like falling from a height that will absolutely kill you, because they're like sloped, they sort of take away some of the fall damage. It's weird. That's like a classical trick. And again, here he's just pointing out with his curse as well that he also got ghost. So that's actually 2 in a row, and I don't think he's gotten hit so far. Yeah, we call them soft rocks. But landing on NPCs is just like a good way to avoid fall damage. Also, I do want to point out that's actually kind of risky because not only is it, of course, the possibility of him missing, and if he misses Samuel's head, like he'll absolutely die from it. Like it's not even just a case of oh it won't be damageless. No, he's dead. It's a death. But also, if he lands on Samuel too much, Samuel will aggro on him, and that's also just a game over. The game will literally just gives you a game over where like the loyalist conspiracy has dissolved due to irreconcilable hostilities. They did it again, landing on top of Hamlock's head. That's a neat trick.
Fantastic.
Yeah. This next area, there's sort of a side mission for dealing with 2 Weepers. And he's being somewhat careful, not using all of his sleep dots. Well, he only had 2 sleep dots to deal with them. And yeah, he was being somewhat careful to not miss. This game actually has auto-aim, in case you didn't know. You can literally just turn it on, and oh yeah, that's another thing. The way he exited the sewers there. Normally, the girl over there called Cecilia will like talk to you and go, "Wow, you went into the sewers. I thought I heard a Weeper in there. You must be the bravest man I ever met." I think it's something like that she says. But he climbed the out of the sewer on the opposite side, and that just and that just means you're like barely outside of the cutscene trigger. So like yeah, I can also like assure you that was intentional. The exact way he climbed out of the sewers there, that was planned. Right here, there's a guard tower, which is like one of the scarier sort of traps in the game levels. They're like, oh, he took fall damage from that. So I guess that's damageless out of the window.
Bueno,
It's not a hit, it's fine. But yeah, that means damageless is out of the window now. Hits in this game are kind of similar to Dark Souls. So the game has like a block mechanic. And if you block, that is considered a hit, but if you parry, it isn't. And in order to parry, you just have to like block as they're attacking.
Yes, but in this game, it's little rare. But at least in Dishonored 2, it's better.
I find parrying like in this game is pretty easy. The exception to that is like if there are multiple enemies attacking you at once, then it can be like really difficult to parry all of them. And it's sort of inconsistent. Dishonored 2, yeah, it's generally just more. I think it's more fleshed out, and it's also a lot harder to actually do consistently. Like, well, it's consistent, but it's like actually hard to do well. It's sort of like a bit more close to how it is in Dark Souls. Right there, he picked up a key, which is actually necessary. Yeah, he needs to use it to open up the sort of exit to the Golden Cat. And this area has 2 targets, and their position is random. So what he got here was it's in the in the speedrunning community, it's called bad luck because it's lower. I think for Hitless, it's actually very arguably safer.
Yeah, that's the best energy.
Yeah. I don't think he got hit by that spring razor. It's his own spring razor, so it shouldn't count as a hit either way. But he got blood on the screen, and that's from an enemy. That's an enemy's blood. And now he's what he did basically here was he just like put a valve on some pipes, turned it, and caused the room to overpressurize, and that kills the target. It's a very safe way to deal with the target, and that's not possible if he gets good luck. But for a hitless speedrun, it's kind of the opposite. There are a few other missions in this game with randomness. There are 2 in the DLCs, I believe, and then there's also Boyle's Party in like 2 missions, where you have to like be aware of different random configurations. Oh yeah, that's both targets down. He also rescued Emily, whom we saw in the intro earlier, and she's now waiting for him at the exit. Hmm. And yeah, he's about to basically leave now. One thing that can happen there at the end is actually, I'm wondering here, there's something that can happen here. It didn't. Okay, so sometimes you just randomly like asked if you want to go inside of the Golden Cat again after leaving it. That didn't happen. I saw it happen during practice. And it's kind of weird. And if you do that, you actually enter the Golden Cat on the other door, the one you entered it the first time. So he was like, he was being a bit careful there, just not running on. Just if it happened,
Yeah.
have to say no to that.
That's
On the wrong
another bug in this game.
Yeah. The reason why it happens is when you enter the cat, you have like a frame or 2 after saying yes, I want to enter the door. There's like a frame or 2 where you can like interact with the door again, and then when you leave it, the game goes, oh, he interacted with the door. I should ask him if he wants to go through it. And then if you say yes, you go through the door, you enter the Golden Cat through the first time. It's weird. Also, you'll notice in this cutscene here, the game just occasionally speeds up, then slows down again to normal speed, and then speeds up again. The reason for that is just because this cutscene is weird, and like it has NPCs walking around just normally in the middle of the cutscene. And in order to be sort of consistent for speedrunning, we had to do it this way. Whereas like in a hitless run, it wouldn't matter at all. But for speedrunning, which is what this mod was originally developed for, it does matter quite a bit. So the next mission is Coldwin's Bridge, where he's like supposed to find a scientist, Anton Sokolov, who lives like on the other side of the bridge. And yeah, because it's a bridge, it's basically like a straight line, but it's like the most well-designed straight line you'll ever find in a video game. It's really good. This whole series is sort of known for its like really good level design. And particularly the DLC for this game has some really, really well-designed levels.
All right, real quick. Absolute legend. Melon on behalf of Team Hitless Dishonored crew. By the way, Melon already dropped $20 today, so now is at a total of $83.21. But with the exact amount of $63.21, we have hit 7K, chat. $7,000 for the American Heart Association. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you so much, Melon, for pushing us over that huge milestone. $3,000 to go to hit our goal. Chat, you guys are legends. Thank you so much.
In that earlier area, you saw him sort of position himself very carefully to blink just on top of a rail so he can avoid the electrified rails like beneath him. That's something like with blink in this game, you can very often like find an exact spot where you can like just barely blink past an obstacle. There's like lots of examples of that in this game.
And I apologize, sorry, real quick. I am so sorry, NeKroMah. Thank you so much for the $10. We actually are over $7,000 now. Sorry, I got a little bit carried away with the 63.21. But thank you so much for the $10 donation. So we were at $7,000. I think it actually was like 11 cents or something. What is it? $7,000 and $11. 7,011? 7,011? I don't even know, chat. I gotta go.
7-11, yeah.
7-11, we'll go.
Also, there's an arc pylon in this area here. So he has to sort of blink through it fairly quickly. Okay, no, he blinked on top of a lamppost in order to avoid it. So yeah, this game has like 3 kinds of traps mainly. The watchtowers that we saw on some of the earlier levels, which are quite scary. Then also arc pylons, which are also pretty scary, and walls of light, which aren't that scary. The watchtowers, like basically, if they spot you, they'll just like shoot flaming arrows at you, like exploding flaming arrows at you, and they have like a pretty massive range. And also, if they spot you, other enemies will start looking for you as well. So that can very easily escalate. Arc pylons, if you're like within the range, they'll sap you, which is obviously a hit as well. And walls of light are basically just like a kill trigger. There was some in an earlier level. There's actually one like in this area right as well, directly in front of him, which he just got over. And now he's on the final area in this mission. This run has been pretty good so far. I don't think he's gotten hit yet. At least I haven't noticed anything. And here's Anton Sokolov, the royal physician, whom he just chokes out. And then carries him to the exit, I assume. This area here is pretty simple once you have like a good selection of powers.
Yeah, it's important to don't kill this guy because sometimes he's like, it's a misclick and I kill him.
Huh. There was a white fade out earlier. I think that's like, it's not supposed to be white. It's supposed to be black. It just randomly it's white. I don't know why. Is that a glitch? Is run invalid now? Okay, well, I joke about that, but I think in general in hitless running, glitches that are like not player triggered are not really considered glitches. So it wouldn't be no matter what. This next mission is one of like the most iconic missions in the game.
My favorite mission.
Yeah, speedrunners hate it because it's so random. So I guess we can kind of explain how it works because there's a lot to explain about it, and it probably won't matter actually for the run. But basically, it's a party, and there's like an upstairs and a downstairs to that. The upstairs is where like the bedrooms of the 3 ladies Boyle are, who are hosting the party, and then underneath is like the actual party itself, where all of the guests are, and you're allowed to be in the downstairs area, but you're not allowed to be in the upstairs area. But upstairs is where all of the clues are. Also, right here, actually, he's doing something kind of interesting. Pierre is the guy who sells like equipment to him, and for some reason, Piero is just peeping through a door. I guess he just wanted to show that off. But yeah, so yeah, basically he has to figure out who the target is, and who the target is in the next mission is random. It can be any one of the 3 oil women, and yeah, he just has to find a note that says it, or find out through some of the target, like through the guests. And casually found is very interesting. For speedruns, it's pretty terrible. For hitless runs, I don't think it's as much of a deal, but it still means you have to have a route through basically all of the 3 bedrooms in order to find the note, and then also a way to kill the correct target without alerting, without getting, well, in this case, actually without alerting anyone, because he's doing ghost. But normally just like without then having everybody notice you and kill you immediately. And there are like some enemies in this, which are called music box overseers, which I don't think we've seen before. But basically, they're able to play music, which disables your like magical powers. And also, if they do that while while they are staring directly at you, you actually take damage from it as well. So they are some of the scary enemies in this. Right now, he blinked up onto the 2nd floor, which is where the bedrooms are, and then he's just basically going to go through them until he finds the correct one. And he can tell it's the correct one based on whether or not there's a painting inside of it. And he also just killed the first oil woman. He doesn't know if that's the target yet or not, but if it is, then he'll have already killed the correct one. And okay, so it's the 3rd bedroom now. He checked the 2 paintings, and they were just both of a regular guard. And right there's a sort of special painting with a golden frame, and it's a picture of the Lord Regent. And now he read the note. He knows who the target is, and it was the first one he killed, so he can just leave now. And he also decides to just sign the guest book. But that actually does affect the next level very slightly. There's like a note which mentions that Corvotano signed the guest book.
No, it's only an optional thing.
Yeah, it's a completely optional thing. This game has like a lot of attention to detail. Also, one thing he needs to be aware of right here is in the canal there are fish, and the fish will eat you if you get near them. Yes, signing the book is RNG manipulation. In the last like random mission in the game, signing the book there actually manipulated the RNG earlier, and it's what caused that boil to be the target. By the way, it's like it's a time loop. Yeah, that's how it works. You guys don't believe me? It's true. It's true. That's how it works. Also, did he give the note to Lord Shaw outside Boyle? Because if you do, that actually speeds up that cutscene. I didn't pay attention. That's the thing you sort of see speedrunners do. They just give a note to some guy and then completely ignore him after that, and that's actually faster. Okay, so this is the sort of, I guess it's the final mission of the game, right? He's going to kill the Lord Regent. The one who's like the big villain. And after that, then he's done, right? There's nothing after this. He's been re-honored after that. The guard tower right here is actually kind of scary because it looks like directly out on the courtyard, and it can absolutely spot you if you if you don't hide from it. That's why he's taking that somewhat slow. Now he's inside of the tower. And okay, so
Okay,
he is opening,
yes.
he's opening the safe right here then. That means I guess he's going for the non-lethal route. So the target actually only spawns after after a while in this mission. Yeah, so he's going up there. So for some reason, the Lord Regent decided it was a good idea to basically like record a confession. Oh, I wonder. Okay, that was slightly scary actually, because if you
That was so risky.
yeah, that was doubly scary. Also, the Regent gets teleported down here to be arrested, so you can watch him get arrested. He's just going up to show that off as well. Okay, that was scary for two reasons. So first of all, he had to blink down past an arc pylon, which like after a second or two like would sap him and just kill him outright. Then he unplugged the tank to that. But before that, when he put the confession into the player, which like broadcasted to the entire city, basically saying he's responsible for the plague, the civilian next to him there can actually spot him. Normally, he's on your side, but if you complete the objective without him, the game just counts him as a normal civilian. And if he had done that, that would have like broken Ghost. I don't think it did, but we're gonna have to check on the actual end of mission screen here. The easy way around that, in case like you want to do a run of this yourself, is just to either talk to him beforehand or like before you play the confession, or just knock him out. Oh, that was actually
Ghost. Nice.
yeah, that was still Ghost. That's fine. Nothing went wrong there. It was also non-lethal. He didn't kill anyone in that entire mission. You can actually complete the entire game without killing anyone.
But yeah, but some objectives you can do a little quest for don't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
A little funny sometimes.
But yeah, now the game is basically over, right? Like he's killed all of the targets. I'm sure there's no way this group of people who've had him assassinate a bunch of people will suddenly turn out to be bad. Oh no, what's happened? Has he been poisoned? Oh no, what a plot twist. So yeah, he's been poisoned, and then yeah, there's sort of like a massive plot hole here because Samuel is the guy whom you've been like riding on the boat with, who've like transported you out to all of the missions. He was the one who poisoned you, but he only gave you half the poison because he couldn't do nothing. He had to do something in order to not attract attention. Yet he could have just told you on the way back to the Hound Pits that hey, don't drink the beer. It has poison in it. But yeah, now he's in the flooded district. That guy he's talking to right here is Dowd. He's the assassin who killed the Empress in the first mission. He's sort of a dark reflection of Dishonored. And he actually got hit when he got knocked out there, but that's during a cutscene, so it doesn't count. It's unavoidable. And Dowd took also... It's kind of hard to see when it's sped up to like 10 times the speed, but Dowd threw away his equipment. So there's actually a side mission, like a side objective here to recover your equipment, or you can just complete the rest of the game without your equipment. That's entirely fine. We choose to use possession here. So I think a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually use rats to just leave this starting area and just go out. You don't actually have to use the bricks to break the wood. And then it's using a fish to swim out of this place as well.
Wow, that's new for me. I never see that.
It's a very safe way to complete that area. The alternative is to the alternative is to go past 2 assassins upstairs, which it's not that difficult, but it's still definitely more risky, and it's definitely more risky if you're trying to go for ghosts. Like that's by far the safest way to do it if you don't want to risk getting hit. You can also blink past the fish. You can actually blink out through that hole. But if you do that, there's a chance the fish will eat you mid-blink. He also picked up a sword from the assassin. This next area is the one that has doubt in it as well. It's a mission that has a whole bunch of I guess there are intended skips. Like you can just straight up blink around the entire mission and just go directly to doubt. Like you're supposed to go through his base, but the developers just left that hole and also other holes just where you can just blink through and skip most of the entire mission. They do a similar thing to that in Dishonored 2, where you can just straight up skip an entire mission by doing a puzzle and just skip 2 factions. That's sort of an Arcane staple. But yeah, there's a whole other area in this entire mission. He just skipped it. Also, actually, fun fact: if you've played this game, there are 2 more things you can do with possession. Actually, 3 more that I can think of, right off the top of my head. So it is possible to possess the river crusts. In case you didn't know, which are the plant enemy. You can possess them, and you can't move at all when you do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's completely useless, but you can do it. You can still possess them. Another
But you
thing you
can
can
move,
do.
right?
What?
You possess that? If you possess that, you can move, right?
No, you're just stuck in place. You can't do anything. You're just stuck in place. It's completely useless. But you can do it. Another thing you can do is you can possess the art dealer in the Golden Cat. We didn't see him. But you can possess him, and he's blindfolded. And when you possess him, the game actually blacks out your screen. You can't see anything. And also, the first target, you can poison him, and if you possess him while he's being poisoned, it kills you, and it has actually a unique death message for it. There's a lot of attention to detail in this game. I think I've said that already. This game is really good. In case I haven't pointed it out, the game is really good. Also, this area is one of the scarier rooms because there's a bunch of plant enemies. We haven't really explained what they do, but the river crusts just shoot really fast at you. So he's actually using bent time to get past them safer. But yeah, they shoot projectiles at you at a pretty alarming speed. Even on easier difficulties, they'll just melt through your health.
No, you can also use a bomb for kill him. But sometimes that doesn't work.
They are unironically one of the scariest enemies in the game. This mission, he's back at the Hound Pits pub, the sort of hub area. and he has to get one of two notes to figure out like where they've taken Emily. And then the last mission after this is then rescuing Emily yet again. Right, so he's like peering over a wall there in order to check where the enemies are, so he knows when it's safe to go through. He's almost getting spotted.
Ooh, too close, too close.
That was close. That was close. So this game has like several like levels of detection. So like the longer they stare at you, the more like lightning markers, I guess they're called. They get, and if they get like if they get 3, they'll investigate. If they get 2, they'll like look in your direction. If they get 1, they just kind of they just kind of turn their head. And after 3, they just like spot you and you're considered detected. I think that got up to either 2 or 3. Another thing he did right here is he actually like entered the boat cutscene and then waited in the water without getting on top of the boat, and that causes that causes Samuel to get away from him and actually end the cutscene, which saves time. And yeah, that was also Ghost. So again, I don't think he's gotten hit, nor do I think he's been seen so far. So this should be a Ghost run after this final mission, assuming nothing goes wrong here. Also, you can kill Samuel in this mission, and the game just lets you.
Please don't kill Samuel.
No,
It's a
don't
good
kill
person.
Samuel. This is not a speed run. This is a hitless run. You don't have to kill Samuel in this. It's going left. I don't think I would have went left. I think I would go. It's fine. He didn't die. He didn't die. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Now he just has to get up. This is like this last scary part of the run. That worked out fine. If he missed that blink, he would probably have fallen down and taken fallen at least taken damage, maybe even died from it.
Yes, and there is some wars and that area, so they can see you maybe.
Also, yeah, that final area, guards can like randomly spot you because their position is pretty random, and if they do, there's a good chance that like you at the very least have to like be able to just avoid them. And if you aren't, then they'll kill you. And he seems to be taking this pretty safely by going on top of the lighthouse.
Oh, okay.
And he's, I guess, I wonder what he's going to use Devouring Swarm for. Just showing off that ability. This game has a lot of abilities. I'm personally like partial to Wind Blast. But yeah, you can also just summon rats that just eat your enemies. But yeah, that's the run over.
Just that run.
Well, it's the first part of the run. So yeah, all missions means basically doing the base game and the 2 story DLCs. It does not include Dunwall City Trials, luckily. Anyone who's played Dunwall City Trials, will know
I
why I
tried
said
one
that.
time, but it's like a arcade mode, no? Or something else.
What? Okay, so this is the DLC where you play as Dowd. And also, the cutscene speed up does not work for this because normally in speedruns we just like load a save directly afterwards, and the other cutscenes in the DLC are like not major enough, so they just don't work for the DLC. So we're not going to have them. Right now, you see Dao going over to assassinate the Empress. Then after that, the game begins. Also, I'm not even sure this blink is possible. If you notice during the cutscene, he like blinks directly into the fight, and I'm not sure you can actually do that. Like that looks too long, right?
Yeah, yes.
Even with blink too, like he's blinks from the waterlock directly to the pavilion. Like I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, maybe with the Chintenyan you can do that.
Dad is using the Void Walker's Arsenal DLC to like get extra blink distance. That's canon now. If only we actually had that. That'd be really nice.
Yes, and in DLCs, the blink changes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you want to explain that?
Yes. Yes, it's like the corpo blink, but if you don't move, the time stop.
Yep. Also, it's sort of Dad actually controls very differently from Corvo. Like his double jump is also very different. Corvo's is sort of like two jumps, like you do one jump, then if you keep holding down space, you do another jump midair. But for Dowd, you can sort of like vary the height, like based on for how long you hold space. It actually controls very differently. It's a sort of thing you notice like when you play the game a lot. You notice just how different the two characters actually control. He's picking up a blueprint here. Interesting. I'm guessing he wants
Maybe
to
for
use
the
Arc
next
Line.
mission. Maybe.
Yeah. Also, because this is the DLC, he kind of had to pick up runes again because he doesn't like he starts I think basically with the blink 1 and then enough runes to buy agility 1. Agility 1 is the double jump. You can see him using a lot. But like in the like final missions of the base game, he didn't have to pick up really any runes because he had all of the powers like he needed. But for this, he has to start picking up runes again.
And something I like in this mission is you can enter this factory by two doors. Oh no, three doors.
Yeah, 3. That's like the sort of main door where you need a pass to go through. There's a strike going on, and you need like a worker's permit in order to go through. There's some workers that were like willing to give you if you help them out, or if you can just steal it from them. And that's the door that he entered, which is sort of like a side entrance. And then there's also you can go through, I believe, the sewers. In this area, you saw him just double check that there were no enemies. The reason for that is I just saw there's a cutscene where I think Billy Lurk, who's like one of Dowd's assassins, informs him that there's like a chair used for interrogations. And if there had been an enemy just before that, they could have like noticed him mid cutscene and he would be in trouble. So he just double checked that there wasn't anyone. And he just killed Rothwell for no reason. Wow.
No,
I think that kills him.
you can leave it in it doesn't count a kill.
Mhm. Also, you purchased a favor earlier. Favor is like a thing unique to this DLC where you can like give some money to change the level in some way. And in this case, it gave him an extra rune that he had to pick up. Now I think it's just done. He's just going to the exit. He's just going to leave the way he came in, apparently. Yep. It's definitely, I think, the safest way to leave because the other one is sort of like guarded by an arc pylon. And yeah, this one's sort of just out of the way. And the other one is sort of like directly in the middle of the levels with guards directly in front of it. So it's the safest way to leave. Right here, Billy Luck has been captured like an idiot. So he has to save her. There's a slight chance the game softlocks here. Depending on how you save her, which I don't think it has. But it's possible for her to like teleport out of bounds and just... Yeah, it's just impossible to complete the game. That didn't happen. It happens a lot if you go through it fast. So speedruns have like very particular strats in exactly how we deal with her. Like go to this area, shoot a bolt, then go down to save her instead of any other way because then she will softlock the game. And he just got a bone charm there, which I think lets him move faster during stealth. And if you're going for like if you're going for a ghost run, that's obviously quite helpful. So the bone charms, like what they are, is random. But that one he got there was quite useful. They're just basically like small bonuses.
All right, guys, we got a donation, chat. Let's go. We had a
Nice.
little bit of a pause there, but we're back at it. All right. We got... Oh, not only did we get $5, we got $5 and a penny from none other than a hungover Newt bag. Let's go. Also, shout out to Newt. Happy birthday. He had a good time last night. So, feels birthday man in chat.
Happy
but yeah,
birthday.
thank you for the donation.
This next mission, he has to... He actually doesn't have an assassination mission yet. He has to like first find like the mission giver, then talk to her, and she'll then tell him to assassinate her uncle and get her the will. Not her uncle's will, but their like but her mother's will, I believe. And both the location of the will and the uncle is actually random. So this is one of those cases where he has to like be prepared for 3 different like positions for the uncle to spawn in, and then depending on that, there's also like different positions for the will. Right here, turns out that some members of the Hatter Gang have found Talia before, and he's been using... We saw one example of using arc mines to deal with enemies. And then he gets the mission. This is actually another place where the game can softlock. Like it can happen quite a lot in this DLC. Okay, that worked out. You saw him take that quite carefully, because if he triggers that tripwire, it will actually like throw a grenade that lands directly next to Talia, and it will kill her. And that will end the run. That is a game over. But yeah, this mission can softlog if you go to the to the next area too fast, because Talia like despawns after a while when she leaves for the docks. It like despawns her character, and if you go like to the next area too fast, it won't actually get to despawn her yet. And then when you come back, she will appear on the docks because you completed the mission, and she's told you to meet her there. But then she'll despawn after that, and there's just no way to talk to her. Picked up a key for the apartment for like apartment 10, which is an exit route that he can use. And then I think so he's going up to this rooftop here where he can beat Billy Lurk and figure out where the target is located. So that's
Yes,
the way
and my
to figure
papers.
out where the target is. So
Oh, cuidado con sus titles.
okay, that's the target.
In the office. Oh, you can. Oh. Okay. Okay.
And that's the problem solved. That's a pretty good, pretty safe location. He'll just walk into that balcony, and then here you can see him using the fact that that time freezes when you blink as out, for him to just like line up an otherwise very difficult blink onto the lamppost. Now we can just loot the key to the chest from Tim's body. Or is he going to throw the body into the downstairs? Oh, or maybe he's going to hide it actually. Yeah,
They probably
gods in this game will notice bodies and will start looking for you if they find it. Picking up a rune in there, and I'm not sure what he's doing upstairs.
Probably money or add-ons.
Yeah, probably. So he knows the will is on the bottom floor. Yeah, you can see the arrow. And also, if Tim spawns on like the middle floor, the will is always down here. But I think that's both missions completed, so he just needs to find a way out of this area without getting spotted. And then he can just leave. And that went pretty well. Actually, has he taken damage so far during this DLC?
No.
Yeah, I don't think he has either. So this DLC might be damageless as well.
So he's gonna go to the last mission of this DLC. Can be a little difficult sometimes. Little ghost. The problem in this mission is a lot of enemies have boxes, and you can use powers, but if you do a good pathing, you can they can see you or something. Also in this mission, you need to rescue your assassins, and taking a map of all the guys with the mask. Yes, and kill one guy. But if one of your assassins dies, the objective changes, and you need to kill the guys with the boxes.
Yep.
That happened to me one time because one war see me and he's trying to throw a bomb, and I leave him, and the bomb killed the assassins.
Yeah, it's actually faster to do the secondary objective in speedruns, which means we often have to find a way to actually kill an assassin in order to fail the first one. Right here, he's just showing off the pathing by like placing an arc mine and just waiting for the overseers to walk into them. So an arc mine will like take care of 2 enemies, and on top of killing them, it also like pulverizes their corpse, turns it into dust. He's also using bend time 2 here to just take care of 3 overseers at once. It literally freezes time for like a limited amount of time. You can just like do basically whatever you want during that time. I think. Wait, so he has 2 more assassins left, right?
Yes, and the papers. Well, no, the map.
Oh yeah, and the map. So he needs to get a note from Overseer Hume. He actually has to deal with Overseer Hume as well, which is easy. You just kill him or sleep at him. Then he has to free 4 assassins. I don't remember because I never free them. And then he also has to get a map with plans, which the Overseer used to attack the base. The next assassin is actually timed. So after a while, the Overseers will actually throw a grenade to kill him. Like once you discover him, there's a cutscene which starts. On not really cutscene, but like dialogue, where after a while they'll just like throw a grenade. Just showing off the.
Oh, to say you.
Oh, I think he got spotted there.
Yes.
Just slightly too slow, and the bend time ran out. And these are the plans, and that is the end of the mission.
And the DLC.
And then it's the next DLC. How was the rules about like reloading this save into the next DLC? Yeah, are you allowed to do that?
Yes, but it's only if you are doing all missions.
Yeah. So this game lets you like import the save from this DLC into the next one, because the next one follows on directly after this one. So you can do that. Alternatively, you can just start from a new game, and you'll get like a bunch of money and runes that you can just use for whatever you want. Also, we haven't even mentioned chaos, but depending on how you complete this, like whether you kill a lot of enemies or
I
not,
just forgot.
you get well, it doesn't really matter, because unless you're actually trying to go for it, you pretty much always get low chaos. But if you if you kill a lot of people, you get high chaos, and the sort of final mission here changes, and you actually have to fight Billy Lurk, and she is, I think, the most brutal fight in this entire game. There's another one coming up right after this, which is maybe more brutal, but I think Billy Lurk is actually a lot harder.
Yes, in my console was hate chaos. It was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Also, the very first thing Billy Lurk does is like scream at you, and if it hits you, then yeah, it's a hit. And so you basically have to like immediately blink out of the way if you're fighting her. And she also just like attacks ridiculously fast. Yeah, it's 2 DLCs for this. There's one more after this. Also, I was considering like donating per hit, but I don't think there are going to be any hits, so I might have to like donate per hitless run instead. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you get used.
NeKroMah is a good player.
Mhm. So yeah, the first fight in the next DLC is against Korva, who's the protagonist of the main game, and that fight is also quite difficult. And probably the reason why you would normally start with with the Breakmore Witches if you were like doing attempts at this category, because there's a very good chance you get hit. He has like about like 3 attacks or something, which are like really ridiculously scary. So he has like a kick, which is unparryable.
Yeah,
It
so
deals like
fast.
no damage, but it does hit you, so it's a reset. Then he has like a charge, which is not that bad, but if he charges at you, you have like no time to react to it really. Oh, and basically it's impossible to react to the kick. You can't parry it, you can't get out of the way. The only thing you can do is like blink behind him. I just hope he doesn't do it. And then he also has like a sword slash, which will insta kill you on the hardest difficulty. which also comes out like ridiculously fast to the point that it's like nearly impossible to parry. That went pretty well to start. Also, he like teleports, and then he kind of teleports behind you, where it can be quite difficult to deal with him. I also notice like whenever Korvo decides to teleport, he just blinks immediately to be out of the way. Oh, he might actually be able to get a kill on him now. Yeah. So after like I think 7 hits on Korvo will teleport, and you can hit him. So that was a hitless Korvo fight. That's actually quite difficult.
Yes, he told me it was difficult to fight because he never did before, and I told him to do some parries.
Yeah, anyone who's played that game casually will know that fight is really difficult, especially if they've tried to do it on hardest difficulty. But like I should know, like even if this was on hardest difficulty, it wouldn't actually change anything because he didn't get hit at all. The only real difference is Korvo does more damage, and he didn't get hit. So, so on hardest difficulty, that would also have been a completion of the fight. So that was really well done. That's probably the scariest part of this entire DLC, really. And I guess he loaded he just started like a new game where he could like where he just gets a bunch of runes which he can just use however he wants. He got Spiritual Pool. There's a personal favorite charm of mine. Oh, Undertaker's actually really good. He should have equipped Undertaker there. So Undertaker lets him move like bodies faster, and for a large part of the next mission, he's carrying a body around. That would actually have been a good use. Spiritual Pool is like also really good. It lets him like regenerate mana faster, and yeah, normally it takes like a second or something to like start regenerating mana after a blink, but with that, it's like significantly shorter. But he didn't get my favorite charm, which is Strong Arms.
Yeah, that's a good one for if you want to do clean hands.
Yeah, Strong Arms lets you. Strong Arms. The description is choking is faster. I joke that is obviously necessary in marathons. Although he hasn't choked so fast. Well, yes, he's choked Ghost away a few times, but aside from that, so like yeah, maybe it wouldn't be that useful then. But in speedruns, it's a complete meme charm. It's just fun to equip. But it's actually genuine. It actually would have been genuinely useful in this because you can choke out guards a lot faster. Also, if you've like done a non-lethal ghost run of this, Strong Arms was actually probably your favorite charm. Also, he purchased a favor here called Overseer Doubt, where basically he gets like wear an Overseer costume. So right now, the guards think he's an Overseer who's here to like consecrate a room, where like some heresy took place. So he can basically like walk around the entire mission safely. And for some reason, that guard decides like he wants to stay in the way. I think you're like supposed to follow a guard down there, who will then tell that guard to move away. But it is pretty limited, like the areas he's allowed to be in. So right now he's going to like break the rules. He's allowed to be outside on this. He's not allowed to be inside like this walkway. This is also another mission which has randomness in it. So there are like 4 cells where Lizzie Stride, who's a gang leader, he's supposed to save. Basically, the entire story of this DLC is Doubt needs to kill Delilah, who's like a witch, was like leading a coven, and they're on an island, so he needs a way to get to that island. And Doubt has decided to use a boat. And this gang called the Dead Eels have a boat, So he's going to have to save their leader in order to get the boat. The first 2 missions are basically entirely filler, but they're also really good missions. Especially the one after this is really good. It's like probably my favorite mission in the entirety of Dishonored, and Dishonored is sort of famous for its good level design. But there are right, so that's you got C28. There are 4 cells where Lizzie can spawn in. Either I believe A00, A21, C28, which is the one he got, and D24. Yes, just buy a boat. Just collect a bunch of money in the previous DLC and just use it to buy a boat. That should have been an option. Just import the save from the previous DLC and just skip this entire DLC. Now he's opened the cell. So basically, there's a bunch of like locked cells that you can use that you can open using those controls. That makes actually getting every item in this DLC pretty terrible. I think the way you're supposed to do it is use the pull power, which you can use to just pull items towards you, and that way you don't have to open all of them. But you still have to go inside of them, and every time you open a cell, it locks the previous one you opened as a security measure. And this is also the point where Undertaker would have been useful, because you move faster while carrying this body, and there's a good while here where that actually kind of helps. He's going to be quite careful here getting past the guards because there's overseer music playing outside the prison. That means he doesn't have any powers outside here. But also pretty clean first mission. So the mission after this has basically he has to first do a mission where he takes out the previous gang leader. So Lizzie's stride can be put back in control. But then after that, it turns out the other gang has the engine coil to the boat, which they are using to like power a mill. And then you have to get that somehow. You can do it either by like befriending the other gang, or stealing it from them. And if you decide to like help them out, there's like several ways you can get the code. You can like just go through the entire level and get a key to a locker in order to open a locker which has the code to the room with the engine coil in it. You can do a mission for the other gang to get it. You can see if I remember them all here. You can literally just go down to the door and just go through all the codes until you find the correct one. You just brute force it. There are a lot of options. You can also kill the leader of the gang because he's an old man and basically just being kept alive by life support, and the other his nurse is using him basically to have control of the gang, and he just basically wants to be put to death. And if you do that, then he will tell you the code just before he dies. So that's another way to do it. Oh, we got Sepher. So Sepher is probably the best charm in this entire game, at least in this DLC. So it's a corrupted charm, which means it also has a drawback, but also then has a bigger bonus. And basically, it lets him move faster. The drawback, which doesn't matter at all for Hitless Run, is if you take damage, you take more damage. But yeah, that obviously doesn't matter for Hitless Run. And here you can see the pull power, which is used to just pull items towards him. There is a difference between no hit and no damage. There's actually a pretty big difference. So fall damage, for example, does not count as a hit. Getting hit by your own items is not a hit, I believe. But also blocking is considered a hit. So if you block an enemy's attack, that's still considered a hit, whereas in no damage, it's not considered damage because you don't take any damage. I guess drowning is also not considered a hit. I guess that's fine too, although that's pretty much never going to happen. But yeah, that's actually quite a lot of difference between those. Well, I say
recommended.
drowning isn't going to be an issue, but yeah, there's another place which has really, I guess, dodgy like really dodgy collision boxes, which is the elevator right at the end of the main game. There's an elevator, and if you want to go like into it from above, that area has really dodgy collision boxes, and I think a lot of people have, especially in the Hitless community, have probably actually lost runs to that area, like not being able to go through it while a guard was alerted onto them. I'm pretty sure that has happened. Because it's really unintuitive, but even like speedrunners have just like gotten to the top of that and just sort of walked around trying to fall down it because it's really unintuitive. And I guess that's kind of similar to like the to that entrance to the boat. It's really unintuitive. So yeah, he's allied now right now with the first gang. So they're his friends. Now he has to get into the second gang territory, and Lizzie Stride gave him the code, which is sort of a hint that she and the other gang leader, whose name escapes me actually, they have some prior history going on. There's an example of just the game's collision being weird. He got like bounced backwards just from like jumping into something. Like some walls in this are just weirdly bouncy, and it's kind of weird actually. Now he has been picking up a good few items, so this game, I think I have a pretty good idea of what he's going to do here. And I guess that means I should point out that if the leader here ever dies, then it's basically set up to like release a poisonous gas which kills everyone in the area. But there's an antidote you can get to that. So I'm guessing he's collecting the items for that, and then going upstairs to brew the antidote. And he just opened up a secret room with the recipe to the antidote, and then it turns out, oh look, he already had all of the ingredients to it. So now Dowd is immune, and this guy basically tells him to unplug his life support, and then he'll tell him the code. And he only like tells you the first 2 digits, which means you basically just brute force the last one. And yeah, doing it this way, I think basically means he doesn't have to deal with any enemies. He can just complete the mission very safely. And yeah, he's got the engine coil. Now he just has to leave. And yeah, that's it.
I think it's more faster to do in try to know the codes.
So this is the final area of this place here. There are actually some witches which will spawn after he places the engine coil back. It is possible to kill the witches beforehand, actually.
They are in the I don't know. In that side, yes.
Yeah,
They are
just know where they are. You could go over there like before they
Yes, they are only for
think it's
witches,
done, yeah.
or
Yeah, there's only 4 witches. It doesn't take that long.
and tell us a mission.
Yeah, last mission. Still hitless. So yeah, the first part of this is basically where he has to find a key to get inside of the mansion, or some other way inside. There's a good few ways to get it, I think. That's some interesting collision this level has. Oh yeah, this also has like the worst enemy in the game, the plant. It's back to haunt us. He almost got hit by one there.
That was so close.
There are more plants in this area right here. Like, I wasn't kidding when I said the scariest enemy in this game is a plant. He also picked up a lever, which is a way to get inside of the mansion. And yeah, he's just gonna repair a switch and hit the lever, and you can go down here and enter the mansion sort of bar in a like through the crypt. Also, I guess actually it's not actually a plant. It's a sort of like
Animal or something else.
yeah, like it has pearls in it, so it's like what are those called? Are they just called mussels? What are they called?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I
like
tried to
a
unmute
clam.
myself. Sorry. I was going to say, while you're thinking of that, we got a donation coming in. Hot off the Cuphead hype train, because we're about to go into Cuphead. None other than Omune with the $10 donation. Let's go, chat. That brings us to a total of $7,026.01. Thank you so much for the dono, and we're looking forward to that Cuphead commentary.
Yeah, clam was the word I was looking for. And yeah, this is the I guess like second to last area. So this like earlier he just picked up like a lantern, which is used to open a painting. It makes sense, trust me. And oh, he just does not have enough to get summon assassin. I think he wanted to show that off. Get like an assassin to fight the witches. Now he has to improvise. And yeah, now he's going to use the lantern to open the painting. And then he's going to enter the painting to get into the void. And then it's the final boss fight, which he doesn't have any sleep darts, I don't think.
No, maybe I could do a clean hands final.
Yeah, maybe.
Real
So-
quick, guys, we got another donation. Someone flagged this man's credit card, all right? I think he may be still drunk from last night. Newt Bag with another donation with his name still hung over Newt Bag. $3.99. Any exact numberers in chat? Because I think it just bothered him that much he had to round up. We are at $7,030.00 now. Someone do a $1 donation to troll him, and then he'll donate another 99 cents. Thank you.
Yeah, he's doing the non-lethal route, yeah. The only downside to doing it is you have to just wait for Delilah to get out of the way so you can put a different painting. And then that will cause her instead, like, basically she's trying to like possess Emily, so she could be the Empress. And if you then replace the painting with one that is of the void, she instead like gets trapped inside of the void. And yeah, the only downside is you just have to wait for her to finish that painting, and then.
Yeah, you have like 2 minutes for changing the
Yeah.
picture.
A fun fact: if you're like, oh yeah, that's right, he's going for Ghost, right? So he has to do this because even if you actually like fight her without getting spotted at all, even if you do that, then she spots you after this. That's just it's just a script where she just instantly spots you. It is possible to actually like finish the mission afterwards as well, like without killing her, even after fighting her, because you can do the ritual yourself, like after replacing the painting. But you can't do it without getting spotted. So you have to do this actually. That's right. But yeah, the run is basically over at this point. I don't think there's anything that can go wrong unless he just decides to like blink down and get spotted.
Well, maybe he shot Delilah right now, but
So I think that means the last run has been has been Ghost. And I also don't think he took any damage.
until he doesn't take damage, and it's a ghost run. Did you see?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's it. Then right here at the end, Delilah realizes her mistake and tries to get out before getting sucked into the painting. And yeah, that's it. And that was also Ghost.
Yo, whoa, chat. Whoa, we got 2 donations, by the way. Erlope with the $10 donation that said, "Great event, Team Hitless. Thank you so much." And with the big dono, $100 donation from the Wizard of Wang. I think I can say that, right?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Thank you so much for the $100 donation. You are actually insane. That puts us up to $7,140, dude. You guys are killing it, chat. Keep it up. Like I said, we are trying to raise $10,000 this weekend. Today is the last day, day 3. We got about 6 hours of broadcast. Wait, 7 hours. Yeah, 7 hours. 7? Yeah, 7 hours. 777 hours and 77 minutes left of the broadcast. All right. So keep it up, chat. And GG to NeKroMah. Let's see what time it is. 9:37. If he wants to hop in, we can actually do a post-game interview. Any NeKroMahs in chat? You can't skip cinematic. No worries.
Yeah, you cannot skip the cinematic. They want you to watch it. It's the same with the one in the previous DLC, right before the end of mission screen. You cannot skip it. It's the only one in the DLCs you can't skip. It's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. The previous one, it's worse because if you want to see the end of mission screen, you actually have to watch it because it only shows up afterwards.
Welcome in. GG, dude.
GG.
Actually
Thank you very
insane.
much.
I can't believe how many hitless runs we've had this weekend. You know what I mean? It's like we always like strive for hitless, right? But to actually see people come into the showcase, not only just like do a hitless run, but like with style and speed, it's just such a treat. So thank you for putting on such a good showcase. It was so much fun to watch.
Yeah,
How did you? I mean, obviously, I'm hoping you're happy you got a hitless run live.
Yeah, of course.
But how do you feel about the run?
It was really nice. First of all, except the last DLC I will talk about, everything came right. Because Dishonored one is a bit strange sometimes, and it happens some things that you don't expect. Like for example, they detect you instantly. You can't have a reaction, and that's not normal. That will be in very hard difficulty. And other things could happen random. But what I wanted to say to the DLC 2 is was a bit strange. That was typical Dishonored 1, I call. Things don't go like you think they will be. So, and apart from that, I forgot to buy an upgrade. It was the stealth boots. That's really, really helpful. You can run everywhere and no one hears you. And with that, I wanted to show that you can run straight forward. It's amazing to go speed in this hitless.
Awesome. Yeah, and I was gonna say, was DLC 2 the one with the plant? By the way, the plant hit, or was that DLC?
I don't think he got hit by a
Well,
plant.
he didn't get hit. Yeah, I didn't mean that, but like the scare, because we were really
Oh,
scared
right.
about plants in chat.
Those
That
plants
was
that,
DLC 2, yeah. Final mission in
Okay.
DLC 2.
Yeah,
See,
I was worried because sometimes when the plants shoot at you, there's a witch that for some reason goes like what, but no, doesn't detect you. And I was looking for her, but the plant almost got me. And I scared and I back up just and go with blink.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you know you can possess the plants?
Yeah, I knew, but I wanted to, for example, in main game, use the power of time. It's however you want to do it. This game is awesome for that.
Yeah, this game has a lot of things like that.
yeah, I've been told. I think someone in chat mentioned like this game is worth playing twice, right? Once stealth and once just all out chaos.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately in my first playthrough, without my volition, turned into all chaos because I'm terrible at stealth games. But yeah, it's really fun. So like I said, it was really fun to watch.
Casual of this game is really fun because those RNGs and stupid things that happens make the casual run very enjoyable to repeat and repeat and repeat.
Yeah.